What's going on, people? I've not got. I forgot Simon. What's going on, people? It's Mr. Dore back again with another podcast. I hope everyone's fit and well. And yes, there's a lot to talk about. As you know, Ange Postecoglou has been sacked as Nottingham Forest manager as they lost 3-0 to Chelsea. There's lots to talk about. We've got a five panel today. It's been a long time coming, but this is a special podcast. So before you do start, please do hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and comment below on all the discussions that we're talking about. I put a massive shout out to my sponsors as well, to Alan, Hullage and Farm Wide as well. They are sponsoring my channel for the whole season. Right, who to start with? Before we start, I don't people in the chat. Can someone tell David that Ange Postecoglou has been sacked because he doesn't know that he's been sacked? So if you in the comments, if you can do a massive favor for me, he doesn't know. So this is all. David, do you know he's been sacked?
Yes, I woke up to 78 text messages from half of Australia's Nottingham Forest collection of fans telling me that Ange had been sacked. Yeah, I literally went to sleep and he was still the manager, and then woke up to. Goodness me, I typically open up my YouTube just to see what sports news has happened. I can just see the Ange is sacked. So the reaction to that and thinking on that, I just had to come on and talk to you guys. And normally I'm in the future telling you guys what's happening, but actually it was you guys in the past telling me what's in the future. And I'll just say, I'm just one thing that's good and positive out of this is that I'm still the most popular Australian identity that's related to Nottingham Forest. So that's all. You don't have to worry. Everything's okay.
Shout out to David as well. Next up, we've got Simon from Talking Talk podcast. How you doing, my friend?
From Talking Talks podcast, Ben.
Tricky Talks. So you mean I'm talking to the future. So how you doing, Simon?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks, Ben. Yeah, lots to chat about today, I guess.
Make sure everyone's subscribed to Tricky Talks as well. I'll put the link in the description. So like I said, there's Simon. David was on there as well. So if you want to listen to David on that channel as well, please do. Next up, got the man himself, Dylan. How you doing, Dylan?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. Moving forward, my friend.
Moving forward. And next up, Steve. Do you know that Postecoglou has been sacked? Is it? Do you know? Internet working? Tonight?
Yeah, I've been refreshing every 2 minutes, man. It feels like the transfer window when you're refreshing It's like you're refreshing a Twitter page every
Forest,
2 seconds.
Why is that, Steve? Because Forest is signing 7 new managers so that they can choose which manager they put in for which part of the season and for which match.
Yeah, we're already linked with 3 managers every hour. New ones.
We've been linked with 3, but we will talk about it, people. But before we do go on, just do a massive shout out to the people who's watching. Shout out to Chris. How you doing, Chris? Even if Mr. Dore Ange was a bad hire in the first place, let's hope they give more little time for coach number 3 of the season. Bloody hell, coach 3. Colin, how you doing, my friend? If you want to be a member like Colin, please do. Like I say, it helps my channel a lot. Big Mart, good evening, Mr. Dore and guest. Good evening as well, my friend. As well, hi, Ben, David, Dylan, and Steve, and Junior, and Simon. Davey, actually, Leland. Martin, another member to the channel. Evening, mate, and panel. My head's gone. I can't believe what's happening to this club in a few months. Again, that's something that we are going to talk about throughout the show. And True Red was never a good fit to begin with. Right, who are we starting with then? Who's going to start with the show? Why? I look at the comments. Who's going to start? Who are we going with? Day, Dylan, Simon, Steve. Come on. Who are we starting with? Come on.
Go on, I'll go first. Go on.
Well, Steve. Let's start with it. How are you feeling? Then everyone can
start. Well, what do you want to start with? The game or Ange?
Well, whatever you want to talk about. Come on.
Right. First thing I will say, the moment that Anderson cut in and didn't get a shot away, the moment that Gibbs White didn't score, in our first half, I said, Chelsea are going to score. It's a matter of time they're going to get a goal. It's so easy to read, Ben. We just can't shake it, can we? And it's just so obvious. We got no luck. I'm going by the game now. You could see it coming. Second half, they came out. Neto just given all the freedom of that left side to get the cross in. Easy header. Second goal, free kick. I think Sells could have done better. I'll get to him later. And the third one, well, it's just, again, what are we doing from set pieces? We've gone back 2 years now, like we were a couple of years ago. It's just, and when it just summed up when Jesus hit the crossbar and hit the other post and came out, they just, one thing I will say is Ange has been very unlucky in that sense that these chances have not gone in. And I said this a couple of shows are going, Ben, is that we just not getting any luck in regarding it's not coming off the back of someone's backside and going in, or it's like their keeper going in. It's just no luck at the moment. Just nothing is going for us, and unfortunately, someone's lost their job because of that. And for me, though, it was the right call. So, but I let the panel carry on, and I'll get back to
the right call,
on.
Steve. Let's chat about whether it was actually the right call at this point. So let's dig in on that. So, because you've got 6 losses, and go.
Yeah, sorry. I would just say yes, because for me, you always expect some kind of manager bounce. Now, even back when Chris Hughton was installed, we won away at Blackburn, and instantly there was a rebound. Under Chris Hughton, under Ange, take the half the game away. We were strolling in that first half against Swansea. We should have seen that out. That for me was the alarm bell straight away. And I was there live watching it with Ben, and there watching it was just, you could see the seeds being planted straight away. And unfortunately, it just snowballed since then. And it's just been one game. There was no progression. And if his record was like, say, 3 wins out of 8, he might have been all right. But it's been a 0 win percentage. And unfortunately, and even Maresca said in his press conference afterwards, because they asked him about it, and he said, unfortunately, this is a brutal industry they're in regarding you've got to get results, and you just haven't had them.
Well, clearly the pressure was under Ange Postecoglou in that match, and it's not like the post-commentary was spirited performance from Nottingham Forest players coming out, really playing for their manager, and you didn't hear any of that. The majority of the chances were really Chelsea blunders, where they actually gifted us possession in positions of prominence where we could progress the ball forward to shots for Taiwo and Elliot Anderson and Morgan Gibbs-White, and we did miss all of them. So here's just another thing, and it's a silly joke that I often used to make in hiring people, is that when I used to put out hiring things, people would send us their resumes and their CVs, and I would make the joke, I just want to throw out 1/2 of all of the resumes I've received because I don't want to hire anyone who's unlucky. And for some reason, Ange Postecoglou in his journey so far with Nottingham Forest has just been unlucky. And I just don't think the vibes and the energy and the aura around him was right. And I was on Simon's Tricky Talk podcast, and I said, let's give him a few more matches. Marinakis had worked it out. He was just done, wasn't he, Simon? He's done.
Can I say something about David? Let me put something right. You know when it says it wasn't vibes, do you think it was the media's fault, though, or the way they was treating Ange? Because it was...
Ange blew it.
No, but no. But look at the media. The media was horrible to him. It was very nasty to him. And as football fans, we're gonna say, "Oh, okay." They want to, as Forest fans, they want to be on the media side to speak to talk about Ange in a negative way, if you know what I mean. Because you got to feel sorry for Ange for a little bit because the way the media.
I'd feel really sorry for him, but you've got to manage the media, Ben. You can't go that like. I came out when Nuno got sacked, and that press conference, I was pretty tough on Nuno. That was petulant and stupid. And Postecoglou's press conference the other day, I was just looking at it thinking, that's not good. It was in the Nuno area of just, he just hasn't had the right energy around him. He's been obsessing over what happened with him at Tottenham, bringing that up. He needed to move on. He wasn't respectful enough for past stuff. He just didn't land himself into the club and into the community, and the press conferences are a big way to do that. And Simon, I just feel he just didn't get that right, was my take.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with your sentiments there, Dave. And I look at that aforementioned press conference prior to the Spurs game, and I know he didn't endear himself to the fans because it was all about me. But that was a man that was under attack from the media, from the fans, and he was simply trying to defend himself, and that's all he seemed to do because the results have been so bad. He was constantly having to defend himself. So from a human being perspective, you can't blame him for that. However, results speak for themselves, don't they? On the pitch, he couldn't get it right one way or the other. Whatever he tried, he kept getting it wrong, and ultimately deserved the sack in the end.
Dylan, what's your thoughts on it?
It just got to the point where it just that press conference yesterday was just absolutely ridiculous. Do you know what I mean? Surely he has press people next to him, and they must have had their heads in their hands. Do you know what I mean? Basically, just thinking, "What are you doing?" He was just babbling. He was just rambling. Do you know what I mean? Yes, for me personally, yeah, the media hasn't helped the situation, but the media poke and prod to get stories. Do you know what I mean? That's the way they are. Do you know what I mean? It was like looking back. You remember when Steve Cooper was under pressure, and he used to turn around and he never put the pressure on the players. He never put the pressure on anyone else. He always used to say, "It falls on me." Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you never heard Ange say that. All I heard Ange was saying is, "I've done this, I've won this, I've done this. Oh, and by the way, I've just got an apartment." Well, I hope he hasn't signed a long-term lease because he's in trouble, isn't it? You know what I mean? But
you say that, Dylan. I was actually reading this evening. John Percy wrote a piece for the Telegraph to say that the backlash for that press conference was so bad because it was being streamed live. The backlash from Forest fans was so bad that they had to cut the live stream early.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Because it did end oddly, abruptly, didn't it?
It did. Yeah.
Just weird.
Yeah.
I didn't realise. I didn't watch it myself, so I didn't realise it was ended early. But that's what John Percy wrote this evening.
Just another thing on the situation is I think I saw a stat earlier. In his time at the club, is 39. Was it 39 days he was here?
Yeah, 39 days.
Right, in the games we had. I saw a stat. We've had 60 shots on target, or something like that, and only managed to get one. Do you know what I mean? And it was just. It just didn't seem there was no it didn't seem there was no connection with the fans. If he was asked about the fans, he was like, just the way they want. Well, that's up to them if they want to be like that. And it was just you could just sense yesterday there was no. I'm just here to just waiting for the thing to fall for me to collect my money and see you later.
Sorry, Ben, for me as well. I feel he was holding on too much to the Spurs days, bringing up too much of Harry Kane and Spurs. It felt like a Spurs press conference. You know what I mean? It was too much
you put a Spurs outfit on him, Steve, and you wouldn't have known he was managing Nottingham Forest.
Well, you got to admit, you got to admit the media didn't. This is where the media didn't help because everybody kept saying, "Well, you finished 17th last season for Spurs. You finished 17th last season." So he was constantly always under that attack to go, "All right, I finished 17th, but I won a trophy." Do you know what I mean? So he was kind of.
But what he should have done, Dylan, what he should have done is gone, "That's the past. I am Nottingham Forest now. Spurs is done."
Correct.
I remember I moved on from that, but he didn't. He was talking in first person about Spurs and Kane and so on. We don't care about that. We don't care about Spurs. We care about us. And this is why it didn't sit right with me. And I think this is why he lost the plot. And like you guys have said, he just exploded. And he was all I. And it's supposed to be us. And like Dylan said, Cooper was more about us.
Nuno was. Do you know what I mean? That's all the fans. We're all fans. We all go and watch the games. Do you know what I mean? We do whatever we can. All you want is that little bit of interaction.
But you know what, no? Sorry, just one more quick thing, right? He surprised me with his tactics because it almost like he set up not to lose rather than go to win. Because at Spurs, and we did watch him under Spurs, they were so attacking minded. Yes, it was like, oh my God, but in fact, he went the opposite and started playing with a back five and sitting quite deep. And it was almost like he was trying to prove to the media he had a plan B. He was like, look, mate, I'd rather you just go gun-ho, play about 5 tackles up front and just go for it. Because what has he got to lose? Obviously, he's lost his job. So what he went with went against him.
I think the big thing for me was, and we've already touched on it, was the way he's handled the whole shambles. If you think about what Cooper did, Cooper united the fan base and he united the team and he brought everybody together as one. Nuno did exactly the same. He united the fan base, he united the team, and we were as one and we were progressing as one. Ange didn't do that whatsoever, did he? He had no regard for the fans. He didn't bring them all together. He didn't get them on side early like Cooper and Nuno did, and that was the big difference for me.
Well, how many times? Just quickly on that. Well, how many times? I'd love to be able to watch all his press conferences from when he came to now, and I count how many times he mentioned, "I win a trophy."
Yeah.
Do you know what
Or
I
if
mean?
you just count how many times he mentioned Spurs versus how many times he mentioned Forest. It's also a common sales.
Come on, man. But again, it's the press, David. It's the press that's what do you expect?
No, you can politic it, Ben. You can ask me a question, Ben, and I'll be able to make it the answer whatever I want. He's not politicking the.
I'm not
He's not politicking properly, Ben.
I'm not sticking up for him. I'm just saying, if the press is saying this about what you've done, he's got to respond. If we're going to hear the same old. What we hear from all football managers before the game.
No, he's just got to Bill Belichick it. We're going on to Cincinnati, Ben. He did not manage it. He did not manage the press well, Ben. He was a disaster. He didn't. He should have just focused on. And he spent too much time talking about himself.
I guarantee you, if the media now were to say to Nuno, last season you did really well at Forest and you got Forest 7th, and can you do the same with West Ham? He would turn around and say, that's the past. I'm now West Ham. I'm concentrating on West Ham now. What I did at Forest is done. But like David's agreeing with, Ange did not do that. He fell for the bait basically, and he just saw himself in a good light.
I don't know. People, please hit like button, subscribe. I'm going to go through the comments. And there's quite a lot of comments coming through. Another Aussie. Hello, all.
Hey, Steppo.
And the fans. Here's another one. I don't like this comment. I love the channel. Great to see my favorite David on streams. What about everyone else? Everyone else should get a praise.
Yeah, it was Aussie Ben.
Legend.
Do you know what I mean? To me, and do you know what? Apart from Dave, don't me and Steve get high views when we're on?
Oh, here we go. Listen to me. You know what? People show some people in the chat show some love to Simon. He never gets love. Forget the rest of these three. People show some love to Simon and his channel as well. Tricky talk.
Show him love by subscribing to his channel.
Yeah, maybe
that's the best love.
Yeah, well, I will put his link up in the description in a minute. But people,
Simon's got Ange Postecoglou come on his podcast next week because Postecoglou's got nothing to do. He's got his passport holder out because he's flying back to Australia. So Simon's got big Ange on.
Well, it's funny you say that. When we were due to have you on, Dave, I put out a little teaser on our Twitter account or X account saying you're not going to want to miss this, and I'm putting an Aussie flag on there, implying that it was possibly Ange. Obviously, it was you, Dave, but.
Well, I am Nottingham Forest's favourite Australian identity now. I'm back to number one. I was down to number 2, but I'm back to number 1.
People, like I said, people hit the like button, subscribe if you know. Right. Again, I think it was you, David, mentioned it, and I'm going to ask the panel, like, when everyone saw the team.
Goodness me.
What was everyone's first thoughts? Who wants to start?
Desperation, Dore. Taiwo. Desperation. I love Taiwo. Don't get me some wrong. I love me some Taiwo. But he hasn't played a minute off the bench, has he, in the Premier League all season? And he's suddenly elevated to a starter. Clearly, Ange, I think he thought that Taiwo was the best fitted for the game plan that he was going, because Taiwo provides the biggest energy up front and will tire the other guys and chase everything down. And he was clearly just looking for, all right, which players are going to sign up? But you just thought, goodness me, this is a panic selection picking Taiwo. And then I never loved the 3 at the back for Forest. But I just don't like the left back. He's not a left back.
No, again, I'm calling for you, David. You don't like 3 at the back. What does Steve Cooper had? Yeah, 3 at the back. Have we got promoted?
I don't like 3 at the back for the current Forest team. I just don't think it's right.
We won 7. What score against Brighton?
Yeah, but that was last year. We don't talk about last year, Ben. We're on to next year. We're not looking at the past. We're looking at the future.
Postecoglou.
Huh?
You sound like Postecoglou talking about last year.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks, Dill. But no, everyone else in the panel, what the formation, like David spoke, was everyone like?
I think a couple of things on that, Ben. The first thing on Taiwo was that Darren Fletcher made reference to it in his commentary that Chris Wood was nursing a slight knee injury coming back from New Zealand, and Jesus only arrived back in the country the day before. So that might have accounted for the reason why Taiwo started the game, and obviously he only lasted 45 minutes.
What can a man do? He's not even playing.
He's not even on the bench.
The other thing,
how much was it, Dylan? 120 million on the bench.
There was at least 130 million plus, not even in the squad. So you've got the likes of McAtee, Hutchins. Do you know what I mean? What are they thinking? McAtee might as well have stayed at Man City at the facilities he's got. Do you know what I mean? He's not playing, so he might as well have stayed up there.
That was the other thing I mentioned as well. And Wassy Two has put a comment in there about 122.5 million.
Yeah.
It's like no McAtee, no Hutchinson, no Kalimuendu, no Bakwa, not even on the bench.
You're gonna look at it. You can't get everybody in the team. I understand that, but we've got European games. We've got you've got to have the whole point of us all having these a lot of players was to rotate. Do you know what I mean? Surely you've got to be able to. I'm not being funny, but today Jesus, if he'd have started that game, I think he would have done a lot better. Do you know what I mean? Because he comes on, he's just on fire.
Do you know what that starter lineup? Do you know what, and Fletcher made reference to it in the commentary. What it meant to me was that he went back to pretty much the team we had last year, and he went back to base. And I think he was almost saying, maybe I need to go back to the team that Nuno trusted, but obviously Shevchenko was left back and Douglas Luiz. But I mean, for me, like I said earlier, I don't know why he just didn't, just play these flair players today. Chelsea were there for the taking. That was, on paper, a very basic Chelsea team when you think about it. And I still don't like this thing about, these top six sides. Oh, Chelsea got injured. Look at the bench, man. They brought Casido on and they've still got 100 million and plus or whatever they got on the bench. They still got squad depth. But they were there for the taking, They were so poor in the first half. And it goes back to what I was saying earlier about we're just not ruthless at the moment, Ben. We're just not ruthless at all. We're so soft touch and we're just not ruthless enough.
I'm convinced the training techniques have changed, Steve. And they're just not. They've got one goal out of 60, as Dylan mentioned. They're just too tired and they're knackered from the style of play. And that's why Chris Wood was so good, because he wasn't being asked to do too much chasing. And so
this question is going to be in the Forest trivia book in about 10 years' time. Who was the only player to score a Premiership goal under Ange?
Nico Williams.
Yeah, the only goal. And that's my point about the Ange ball thing.
The other one will be how many days Ange last? 39.
Do you know what? Right, as well, we sit here and talk about Ange, and we're right to do that. But you've got to. And I listened to an interview with Ryan Yates earlier.
Yeah.
And he even said it. Their players have to take responsibility as well. Do you know what I mean? The likes of Gibbs White. Do you know what I mean? I bet Tottenham's looking now going, bloody hell, I'm glad we didn't buy him now. Do you know what I mean?
He was so poor.
He's not stepping up. He's got to be playing. He needs to play well and start scoring goals.
Would you accept the £60 million bid for him now, Steve?
Yes.
I thought he would.
Yeah,
I thought he would.
Not selling him was a blunder.
No, he needs to be called up.
I'm saying no.
No, he needs to be called up. I'm sorry, he's poor. He was poor today. He needed to be dragged off. I would have dragged him off and not Luiz. I'm sorry.
Oh,
he was poor.
That was poor. That I think when Luiz went off, Luiz went off, that was poor.
That was poor.
Can I make a different observation, fellas? The interview that Ryan Yates did after Postecoglou was sacked is a testament to Ryan Yates. And one of the reasons why you do have him in your squad and as your club captain is that an incredibly difficult interview to handle. And if you look at, he was well ready for that. He didn't handle it perfectly, but I thought he handled every question as well as he could, and putting it back on the players and actually challenging his players and actually getting a bit of rah-rah behind them and deflecting the moments that he needed to. I thought he handled that really, really well. So I know I'm on record for being a Yates hater, but he was very good in that interview.
I think it was poor, to be fair.
I thought he was good.
No. I think the interview was gob, but why is Yates doing it? He was on the pitch.
He's the club captain.
He's club captain.
He's the forefront.
He's a club captain, but
I think basically what they did was they basically said to Yatesy, someone needs to go out and speak after this. Don't mention anything. And you could tell that she was trying to get something out of him, and he was saying enough, but then you could see him in his head going, he was going, oh, right, yeah, but we were in the boardroom. Yeah, there was a collective of it. Was Maranaki? Oh no, he wasn't. But yeah, I can't really say much. And you could see that he was trying to go along with the interview, but try not to give away everything that was said.
Do you know what was mad?
Dave said.
Do you know what was mad? Do you know what was mad though? Right, Dylan, you put on the group about him being sacked, right? And as I was watching it live, the woman was with Peter Crouch and Glenn Hoddle, right? And Ryan Yates was doing a warm down. Like they do it, don't they? In the background, and Ryan Yates was doing up and down. And she announced it then because they interviewed Neto. Neto walked off, and then she said, "We've got breaking news that Ange has been sacked." Ryan Yates was doing jogs back and forth, so he was on the pitch when he was announced. So hence why Ryan Yates then was probably called into the tunnel, up to the boardroom, and then he came back down and done that interview. It was just a mad sequence where she's literally saying, "Our man's been sacked," and the club captain doesn't have no idea what's going on. He's literally behind doing jogs. It was just a mad sequence to watch on TV. Simon, was you there watching it, or did you watch it on TV?
I was watching it on TV today.
Yeah, it was just how it all unfolded was just. I think that's why Ryan is probably collared in the tunnel, because he's Mr. Forest anyway. He probably feels like he has to come forward. And
I wonder if something was happening midway through the second half, because TNT focused on Marinakis on his seat after 67 minutes, 6-7, and his seat was empty. He'd gone. And, it's very unusual for Marinakis to leave his seat midway through the second half. And I think things were brewing at that point, to be honest with you, in terms of what he'd already decided on Ange.
Colin Frey.
No, go on,
Colin Frey. I was listening to it on radio, and that's where I got it from. Colin Frey ran straight up to the gantry to tell him. He says he was stood waiting for an interview. He said he saw Ange walk into the dressing room, and then next minute, Ange came out of a door that he never walks out of. And as he walked out the door, Edu was stood there, right? And Ange walked out of this door near the back door where the car park is. He looked down, he had his rucksack on, he looked at Edu, turned around, just walked straight through the door. And then Colin Frey went, "Something's gone off." He says, and that's when he ran up to the gantry. And as he got up to the gantry, that's when the club released the statement.
You know what? Sorry, Ben, just a quick one. Do you know that Ryan Yates interview reminded me of, on a bit of a lesser scale? Was that Joe Worrell interview years ago?
I said, I think it's exactly the same.
Yeah.
Joe Worrell did exactly the same.
And that was that under Cranker?
No, that was under. That was under the French fella.
Montagnier, was it?
Cheeseman.
Montagnier, Cheeseman. Yeah. When we lost. We lost 3-0, and Joe Worrell went absolutely mad. Basically, it was against with Pereira. Remember Pereira, the right back, and was it Piqué, I think it was. Then kind of players, yeah. Joe Worrell went.
He got
mad.
Some stick.
And Joe Worrell got stick for it. I'm thinking why.
Players.
And this is why I seen a few clips about on Ryan Yates as well. Thinking, why is he doing this? And I think, he's, like Dave said, he's club captain, but I still feel they use Yates as he's the club captain.
I like the way though. I do like the way though he put the woman in his place, that she shouldn't be asking confidential questions, because she was trying to really get behind the doors stuff, like what was being said. Like, it's none of her business. It's none of the media.
That's what they do.
Yeah, I know, but that I'm glad he stuck. He said he did actually say, I'm not going to say no more, because he shouldn't. Whatever said behind that door is confidential. End of. And like we all agree on, the media just push and push and push.
Question about the game: was there any positives? Any positives for first half was good. It was all right first half. Second half was just collapsed. But any positives throughout the game? If anyone want to say?
Oh, God, sorry, Simon.
Yeah, sorry, Dylan. I was going to say you hit the nail on the head there, Ben. In the first half, they looked okay. They came off at half time at 0-0, and things looked fairly stable. They didn't look under any threat. They looked okay going forward, albeit, like Dave said earlier, it was pretty much Chelsea who the sloppiness of Chelsea that gifted them the opportunities. But you come off at half time, considering what's gone on before, quite fair and fairly encouraged, I thought, around that first half performance. Obviously, it went all wrong in the second half, but that was pretty much it. I thought the first half performance as a whole was fine. You couldn't really have.
Did you think they were going to win at half time, Simon?
No,
I didn't think they were going to win.
No, I don't think it looked like they were obviously going to win either, Dave. But given what's happened in all the previous games and the performance levels, you come off against a really good Chelsea team at half time, 0-0, and I'd have taken that beforehand, of course.
That's it. Any more positives? No, let's go.
Douglas Luiz again looked class on the ball, but that's about it. That's for me. No one else did.
Right, let's talk about any negatives that we want to say about the game. Like
again, Ben, we're just not ruthless, Ben. As soon as Gibbs White missed that chance, in my head, and I bet 99% of other Forest fans know the same thing. It's the same scenario. We missed our chances. They'll take their first, and that's how cutthroat this league is. Yeah. It just annoys me with Forest. We just never capitalise on any mistakes. They were poor in the first half, Chelsea. They kept on giving the ball away in the back, and I just knew as soon as we missed that chance, it's just so predictable, man. It's just, it is.
You talk about mistakes, Steve. I think all three Chelsea goals, there was an element of mistake involved. You had the Chelsea player who was totally unmarked in the 6-yard box for the first goal. You had the wall effectively parting like the Red Sea for the second goal, and Sells should have done better, albeit you could forgive him for being a little bit unsighted potentially. And then the third goal, the Reece James goal, again, the cross came in and he was unmarked. Nobody was picking him up in the box. So all three goals was down to schoolboy errors, I think.
This is from Mark. Chelsea made 3 subs at half time, and that's all the game swung from there. Yeah, you can tell that there was rubbish first off, and 3 subs, and it completely changes the game. So, yeah,
lots of negatives. Ben, Chris Wood's out of form, doesn't really look in good shape amongst this team. Taiwo back in the fold, looks like he's not going to ever cut the mustard. I'm still enormously worried about the fullbacks. Murillo looks out of form, and Sells is suddenly the 15th best goalkeeper in the Premier League rather than being the top 3. Sells looks really, it's really odd how he's not, having the commanding presence in the back line that we had. So, who of a Nottingham Forest player is now in form? Nico Williams.
Anderson?
No, none of them. None of them are in form.
I say Nico and Anderson. Nico and Anderson are the constant 7. Yeah.
You got to say thing is though probably when he plays Luiz.
Yeah.
Really put a foot wrong.
Yeah, to be fair, yeah. You know what annoyed me? Like, so when Luiz went off, I think it was Craig or someone. I was annoyed at Craig. He said to me, "Why is Luiz gone off? Or maybe he's injured. If he was bloody injured, take him out. Take him off half time. Don't take him off when it's 2-0 down." And that,
if you're coming back from a hamstring injury, Ben, there's no point taking a risk when there's it could reoccur. Basically, hamstring injuries you have to manage carefully, don't you? So maybe the plan was to always take him off at that time. We don't know for sure, but he's a player that has to be effectively managed because he's so injury prone and gets these little niggles that maybe 90 minutes at this stage is beyond Douglas Luiz. Hopefully we'll see that change going forwards, but I just think first game back after a hammy injury, maybe they just had to take precautions on that.
Could I just say for Matt Sells though, is that, and I wanted to get to him, is he is, I agree with Dave, he is poor at the moment in his standards compared to last year, but with a goalkeeper position, you're only as good as your defence and the team in front of you. So when players are just walking through your defence and your midfield and coming at you, you're going to get deflated and you lack all confidence. And I mean, it's just like that. Like Simon said, that first goal, Neto. As much as I love Nico Williams, I'm sorry, you can't leave a player of that quality. And what did I say half time? Neto worries me. He was the only player who looked a threat for them. And we allowed him to run about 20 yards with the ball, a free cross.
Sometimes the top players are just going to beat your right and left fullback, Steve. The marking.
No, No, but if you watch the goal, Dave, he ran with it. No one pressed him. It wasn't like he skinned anyone. He just ran in a straight line, and he got the cross in. He didn't skin Nico or go around him. He just ran in a straight line, and then he got the cross in. That's just not pressing.
The Chelsea guy was unmarked in the box, though.
Oh, it's poor. Yeah, it's terrible. He got in between Morato and Milenkovic or Murillo, and he's like 6 yards out. But look at the other chances we had. Douglas Luiz with the head of the cross to Gibbs White. He stretched, put it over the bar. Nico Williams missed a chance right in the beginning of the second half. Should have buried it. You know,
so if all of those go in, Steve, and Forest are up 3-0 at halftime,
I still wouldn't be confident.
Is the situation the same, or is Ange sacked after the Porto game anyway?
Dave, we were 2-0 up by Swansea. Look what happened there.
Yeah,
we were.
Steve, don't mention Swansea, please. That still gives me nightmares.
Well, Swansea blew it, and he thought he was going to win and made changes, and he took the pedal off the metal, and he just needed to get a win, didn't he, against Swansea?
100%. I was going through the comments, and the comments are flying in. So thank you very much for everyone that's watching. So I appreciate it as well. Please do hit the like button as well for myself and the panel as well. Martin says negative sales.
Looks like Big Mart's the new manager of Nottingham Forest with that picture there, Ben.
Big Mart, you didn't imagine Martin. Might as well get Ozzy Dave as the assistant manager. Monkey's wife, MT, and Ange in the dugout. Dyche will sort out Ward. I feel bad for him. I think I feel bad for him, but when it comes to football, Romain, he had.
I won't feel too bad about it, because what industry can you be absolutely awful at your job and still walk away with a cup of milk in your pocket?
True. That is
true. I was about to say, Deals, you say, what industry can you still walk away as the boss of a job? Yeah, when you're Ben Dore and you run your own podcast, and you can be terrible and you can still run the podcast.
I'm getting rid of all of you. You're getting sacked. I'm joking.
Why is everyone being paid?
I'm getting paid. What are you? You're not getting paid, Bill?
Ban Blue.
No, I haven't been paid. Well, I've known him for 30 years.
You get paid.
I haven't been paid for
that. Gets paid. Do you not get paid?
I paid you with was it Fanta or whatever?
Bottle of
Fanta.
Yeah,
that was mine. Charles, how you doing, my friend? I hope you're well. Make sure, like I said, she's on the Tricky Talks as well. So make sure, like I said, I'll put the link at the top for Tricky Talks. So make sure everyone follows that as well. Right, before we do, I spoke to Steve. Steve talked about before the show. Like, Andrew's gone. And people on the chat, is Ange in your top 3 worst managers at Nottingham Forest? So people in the chat, who's your worst 3 managers at Nottingham Forest? Before we do the next discussion, so people in the chat, what Dylan?
I've got 3. I've got 3 already.
Yeah, that's right. So you can say it. So people in the chat, who's your worst 3? There's 77 people in. Who's your worst 3 Nottingham Forest managers of all time? Is Ange in there? So who am I starting with? Let me start with you, Simon. Go on, Simon. Who's your worst 3 Forest managers?
He is. He's on record now as the worst Forest manager ever, because he's the only manager in history not to win any of his first 8 games as Forest boss. That has to be the worst manager ever. It has to be. There's no other comparison, really. It's the stats speak for themselves. The second worst Forest manager is Alex McLeish.
Yeah.
Never rated him either, and
did he win a game?
Yeah.
He only had 1 full month, Alex McLeish, which was January 2013.
He still bloody won.
Yeah, the third worst Forest manager for me was Big Ron, because how can he not be in the bottom 3 when you go and sit in the wrong dugout?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Oh, dude, it's all flying. Megson, Hooton.
Megson, maybe Megson instead of Big Ron.
Simon, how can you forget Megson? Come on, man.
Well, I've erased him from a memory, Ben. It was that bad.
You're not like Rad, who was just born for Megson. Shout out to Rad. Everyone knows, but
Megson instead of Big Ron, definitely.
Okay, next one, Steve. Who's your worst 3 managers? Is Ange there?
Right, I'd have to put Megson first. Only because he took us down to League One, and he had a longer run at it than Ange. I'd have to put Ange in second because he didn't win a game, and like Simon said, the stats just said it all. And third, I would put Steve McLaren. I just felt he That guy was never a Forest. And not just because he was Derby, he was never a Forest fit, ever. Ever. No.
They're all going like platinum.
Do you know what? You think about it and listen to us all naming these managers. We've had some high-profile managers that have been absolute crap.
How's this? Did you know?
Yeah.
Ben, please clip that. You got to clip that because when you did that, then was pretty easy.
It should be a starting 11. We should have done a team. It should be a full team of crap Nottingham Forest managers, like not three. It should be a full 11.
Ron Atkinson, big. He's done everything.
Who's your worst three? Yeah, who's your top three?
My worst three.
Yeah, worst three. Yeah.
I think I can go on. Megson. I'd have gone Megson. I forgot about McLeish anyway, but Megson, Postecoglou, and I had one more. Oh, and Chris Hooton.
Yeah, Chris Hooton.
Yeah, so Ben, did you know that prior to Brian Clough, Nottingham Forest had 14 managers prior to Brian Clough, going back to when it was recorded in 1889 on the list that I can see. So the number that we've had since then is like a significantly higher number. I agree with Dylan on the previously aforementioned managers. Also, I didn't love David Platt post the Premier League era. I thought he wasn't so good for us.
Right. Let me throw a curveball on this one. And people in the chat, when I interviewed the ex-Forest Man players in lockdown, they liked David Platt. They liked him. But as football fans, we were like, oh no, don't ever bring him again. So you got to give some. I
think it was them 3 Italians that did him.
Yeah, the 3 Italians. Yeah. To be fair, he did bring in. Remember, he brought in Skimica. He brought in David Johnson. And look how they turned out.
Skimica. Good old Skimica. Yeah, and then I actually thought, I didn't love Lamucci. Lamucci, Houghton, hopeless. God, there's so many of them that were so bad, but you'd have to say, you can argue recency bias is up there. There's a new champion in town, guys, and Ange Postecoglou, I guess, is the new undisputed champion.
I came on Dore podcast doing lockdown and said because Houghton was going to be great. I did. We all did.
I can remember him being appointed and you text me.
We all did. You're not alone. You're not alone.
Can I just say, though, one person we don't mention, but some of his games were highly entertaining, was Philippe Montagnier, because we had some crazy results with him. I mean, we won 5-2 away at Barnsley, I think it was. Beat Burton 4-2 at home. It's just, his style of football was just like, it just didn't make any sense. But he was entertaining.
He just loved cheese.
Yeah.
Hey Ben, can I respond to the Kevin's comment about the Australian nature of the football managers? And so the problem with the actual Australian football at the minute, Kevin, to build on your comment there, is that the technical ability and requirements of Premier League players and just players generally and also managers is now far superior than it was 20, 30 years ago. And the Australian football game and coaching is just not where we need to be on the global level. And so to your point that, you know, not another Aussie. There is a reason why there are no Australians in the Premier League, because we just don't have that technical nous and skill. And that was part of the energy around Ange being Australian, is that Australia's not a footballing nation. If he was the Wallabies coach, then sure, then you're Eddie Jones and that might work. But he just didn't have the technical nous, and that was a big gap that we had. And so I think that's the kind of point. And look, if you would like, I will gladly speak in a different accent.
Why don't you talk Welsh? You get away with that.
I can try and talk. I don't know what this one is. Maybe it's Irish. I'm not sure, but this may be appropriate for me to talk in this accent. But if you don't like me talking in this accent anymore, I can change it.
Go back to your normal accent, mate.
That is my normal accent. I've been pretending to be Australian for a long time.
He lives in Stevenage.
Yeah, I don't get this whole nationality thing. Or if you're good enough for the job, does it matter what nationality you are?
No.
Right. Let me ask you. Let me ask English boys in this group now. Right. If England win the World Cup next year, you got a German in charge of your country.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, but if you get knocked out, because he's German, get him out.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It doesn't matter if fans.
That's how it is. We love.
Yeah, you straight away you bring up the nationality. Like if Ange is good enough, I mean, he's good enough for Celtic. He just wasn't good enough for us. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if he's Australian.
I'm not being funny, Stephen. All of us could have gone to Celtic and won that. You've only got to beat Rangers.
Yeah, but look at Russell Martin. He couldn't do it. I know you should have said, but for me, it's just the whole nationality thing. For me, is just Dave is right. Australians haven't produced. Harry Kewell is probably the most high-profile player they've ever had, or Viduka. But I mean.
Nationality is only a problem when you can't speak the language and there's a communication issue. If you can get around that obstacle and communicate in English effectively, then nationality doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So
can we close off? I think we all wanted Ange to work, Ben, but I think it's done. Let's move on to the next. Ryan Yates is now the acting manager of Forest, isn't he, Ben?
Right. So the next one is the next manager of Nottingham Forest. Like I said, I'm going to do a poll in a minute because we've been linked with so many managers left. So, Steve, how many managers have we linked with? Is it 10 or 11 now?
No, only 3, Ben. Only 3.
Only 3. So
Since
I think when we
wake up this afternoon.
Yeah. So when we wake up, there'll be about 15 of them. So
I have seen one name that's been creeping up the bookings. The betting. Mine. I'll mention him in a minute now.
Right. Okay. So people, I'm gonna ask the panel. We've been linked with Mancini, Dyche, even Steve Cooper, and the lot. So I'm gonna go through the panel. So that's you. It's not you, Steve. Who do you want as Forest manager? As well in the chat, who do you want? And be realistic. Who do you want as Nottingham Forest manager? Go on, Steve.
Marco Silva. I want Marco Silva. I would the money we are wasting, or wasted, where we could have just paid the £7-8 million comp for him. But again, that might be a bit of a sticky patch now with paying the comp. But for me, they mentioned after the Arsenal game earlier, he's not happy there. They're not on good form. He's got injuries. He wasn't backed in the summer. His head might be turned. And like I said in the group, I spoke to someone last weekend. I won't mention his name, who's been with the club before.
Say it, Stephen.
It's
this channel. Say it.
Just a bit of inside knowledge.
Coming back to Forest, Steve. That'd be so good.
I had a conversation with Mr. Alan Tate last week in one of my local Tesco's, and I had a good chat with him.
Can we just say who Alan Tate is? Because there's another thing.
He's Mr. Cooper. He is Mr. Steve Cooper's second-hand man. And he said that, and he did refer to him as Mr. Marinakis, that Marco Silva is the guy he's wanted for a long time. They did ask Cooper to come back, but Cooper is committed to Bromby. But yeah, Silva is the guy.
That would
he was. You know what though? I asked Alan Tate, would Cooper come back, and he said he would. He would. It doesn't matter if he's been to Leicester. That doesn't matter. He would come back to Forest.
Can I just make a point about Marco Silva, Steve, if I may? I don't disagree with what you're saying. I think he would be a good appointment. But Mollo made a good point on our pod earlier in the week in that what has changed with their opinion of Marco Silva. If they want him now, they surely would have wanted him a month ago or just prior to Postecoglou's appointment. Why couldn't they have got Marco Silva then? And why would they be able to get him now? So if they couldn't get him a month ago, they're not going to be able to get him now if they are that much enamoured with Marco Silva.
Yeah.
So whilst I agree...
There might be other sticky points to it as well, though, because going back to what I said about what Alan Tate said about the owner wanted Silva for a while, it could be just other factors as well. It could be the whole contract thing as well, paying out the comp, and it could be just other factors as well. But I know what you're saying, and that's what I'm saying about the money we've wasted. Maybe on a few transfers, we could have used that money towards Silva and pay out his contract and send him to the club.
Plus today, it was reported that Fulham are trying to sign him to a new contract.
Yeah, because you know why, don't you? Because this has come up now.
So who want to ask? Have I asked you? Dylan, who do you want, Dale?
Who do I want?
People to chat as well. Who do you want? There's quite a lot of people going.
I put this name in the group chat earlier, straight away. Sean Dyche. Only reason being is I think I've watched enough podcasts of him over the last year and that. He lives around the corner. He's easy to get. Do you know what I mean? And I just like listening to the way he does things. He takes teams back to basic. He's not bothered who they are. He comes in, he changes stuff. He makes them play basic football. I think he might, if he comes in, he doesn't like people training in coats, woolly hats, stuff like that. So maybe a bit of structure like that to get him in the club. Yes, he plays a certain type of football and it might be ugly, but if it's ugly football and we get 3 points, I don't think at this moment in time we're really bothered.
What about you, Ozzy Day? Who's your first choice?
I think we need a high-profile appointment that builds confidence, and so I think if it's Mancini, then you sit there going, "All right, we're serious." Sean Dyche just feels like it's just a bit negative for mine, and I can't see us getting Marco Silva.
Why?
I just can't see that.
Why?
I just can't.
I
just can't see people leaving it.
Dave, let me ask you this question, because this is what Mancini, what does he offer?
Just pedigree and distinction.
Yeah, but we've established on this podcast that big, famous, well-known managers end up turning crap. So do you know what I mean? But
I don't think Ange Postecoglou was big, famous. I don't think he got the same. I don't think he was the same.
I've got
look,
a bit.
The position you've got to have someone we need a calming influence right now, and we need someone who's not going to make noise. Another problem with Ange is that he was noisy. You know, I said this at the press conference. He said this at the press conference. We need a manager that it doesn't make it all about him and just gets down to some basics and can grind out some results, but can also have some tactical nous. So,
but the thing
we're in a tough spot, gang. But maybe they've also progressed someone since the last 39 days, and they've got someone else in mind.
Can I talk about Mancini, please? Sorry to interrupt. Sorry.
No.
With Mancini, I don't think there's any doubt on his pedigree in terms of winning championships, both at club level and obviously leading Italy to a Euro 2020 triumph. But he's done that at teams that are competing for championships and titles. Has he got any pedigree taking over a team who are essentially fighting relegation, because that's what we are at this moment in time? I don't know whether he's got the nous and the capability to take over that kind of team. And also, has he got the ability to unite the fan base and the like Nuno and Cooper? Can Mancini do that? Because I think that's what we need as well right now.
Then the choice is Cooper, because you're wanting someone who can unite the fan base and understands how to save Nottingham Forest from relegation. He's done both of those two things, which just seems an absurd conclusion to draw on.
I think
it's where we are, though.
I think the comparison as well is Mancini would come in and be openly like, "I'm not here to make friends. I'm just here to do a job." I think Dyche would come in and would want to bring the fan base together, and as we all know, he likes to go watch Forest play, and people say he's actually a Forest fan, or I can think he lives locally and all that kind of thing. So it's what we want. And obviously with Mancini, you come with an aura around him, being Premiership winner, won the Euros with Italy and so on. So he comes with pedigree, but it's what you want. And like Simon said, it's either you bring someone in who will unite and bring it all together, or someone like a Mancini just go, "Yeah, it's just, I'm here to do a job." And if he gets sacked, then he just move on, and he's 60-year-old and he'll quite happy to have another payoff.
I think
as well.
Sorry.
No, I was just saying about Dyche. I think with appointing Dyche, you're appointing someone who's going to stabilise the team, but he's going to bring the fan base morale up a bit, because look who he brings with him. He brings Ian Woe, a legend at the club. He brings Steve Stone, a legend at the club. So that picks everything back up. And they're two players that know the fundamentals about this club.
No, that was what I was reacting to. Please, no, Brian. No.
Why?
Well, yeah,
Why
but
not?
let's look who Mancini would bring with him. He'd bring David Platt.
No. Right, to confirm, I spoke to the Italian fan, Lee Tilson, and he's not there. So to make it clear,
Wouldn't that be really weird if David Platt was back on the bench?
that's not happening.
Been done. It's been done before.
That is not happening. So to make it clear, Platt is not with Mancini. So we have three choices: Platt, Mancini,
Platt.
No, not Platt. Mancini
Dyche.
or Dyche. Who are you picking out them two?
For me, I'm going out of those two. I'm going with Dyche for the reasons Dylan said about uniting the club and uniting the fan base, and he's got a track record of steering teams clear of relegation. He's done it year in, year out with Everton. He's done it with Burnley. He's even taken Burnley up to 9th in the Premier League as well, I believe. But arguably, he's not worked with a group of players as talented as we've got at Forest. So,
and he's been chomping at the bit to do it.
Yeah, so I would, out of the two, I would go with Sean Dyche for me.
And for me, Dyche just over Mancini. And a lot of Everton fans need to remember what he did for that club, because I get a lot of Everton fans. I see a lot of Everton fans. Oh, I can't believe we're going for Dyche. Yes, okay, towards the end of his tenure there, they played some really bad football, right? But when a man just, like under Cooper, towards the end it was really bad. And the Nuno, it got really bad. It happens. But remember what he did for Everton. He went on a run, and they had a points deduction that year, and they still, two, and he still got a mid-table comfortably. And they went on. Didn't they go like unbeaten in like 13 games or something like that? They're not easy on the eye, but he makes you effective and makes you hard to beat. Because what do you do on the training ground now? You watch videos of us conceding these stupid goals, and you go right back to basics. Milenkovic, Murillo, get back, solid back two, get some confidence back in the wood. Get some confidence back in the cells. And like Dylan said earlier, if we just win ideally 1-0, are any of us going to care? No.
Right, let's see. Can I ask a question, right? It's been on my mind. So we got slagged off for Steve Cooper being low block football, and he kept us up. We got slagged off for Nuno for being low block football. He got us into Europe. Bring Ange. Some Forest fans wanted attacking football, no wins at all. So if we bring a manager that plays like Dyche football and we win all his games, are we going to, our Forest fans can say, "Oh no, we don't want Dyche"? That's just you got to know.
The thing is, Ben. The thing is, Ben. Right? Can anyone correct me in saying that? When's the last time we had a team who play teams off the park in possession football? We don't. We have.
Very best is first half.
That was it. What I need to say is, right, we tried under the Mark Warburton, right? It didn't turn out. We just, the only other, Billy Davis, maybe in his first season, we played some really good football, right? But what I'm trying to say is we've never been a team or a club that have averaged 70%, 80% possession of the ball, dictate, just pound. We've always been that kind of, I want to call it low block, counter-attacking team. We've always been set up like that. I don't know what it is about Forest. And the Nuno, we're most effective. And the Cooper as well, we played a lot of that as well, counter-attack football. We just got to face fact. We may be just one of them teams and clubs where we just play that football, go back to basics. Again, Ange ball didn't work. We've tried to play all these expansive football. We just don't work. Go back to what our strengths are. Maybe if that's counter-attacking football and winning ugly, so be it. Because we're desperate now. We have to face back with desperate.
Interesting question. Does everyone want attacking football or just?
But people. The thing is, people. We're damned if we do, and we're damned if we don't. We did. By the end of by the end of Nuno's reign, everyone was, "Oh, come on, do you know what I mean? We want to start having possession in the game." Then we go to Postecoglou. We're getting more possession in the game,
and it's not working.
And it's not working. Do you know what I mean? I think personally, the team needs a reset. The players we have should be winning games. We have got I would say we've got one of the best teams, apart from the top six. We've got one of the best teams. Do you know what I mean? Look at the players we've got with Hutchins and all that. Do you know what I mean?
I don't know if they are that good, Dylan. Morgan gives what looked atrocious today.
No, you can't. No, Let me go for you right now. He's still a good player. He might.
But they're all out of form.
Yeah, but that's what footballers do. They're all on form.
Yeah,
It's the manager.
yeah. But if you think about it, if all this commotion is going on in the club, and the style of football's changed drastically, it wasn't changed gradually. It was changed over 7 games as quick as that. And Ange wanted it now. Do you know what I mean? And then all the players are starting to, oh, here we go. Do you know what I mean? And negativity, and it drains on them after a bit. Yeah. So they're all going to come out of form. So do you know what I mean? Yes, Gibbs White's not up to form yet, but we all know what he's capable of. We know what Chris Wood's capable of. We know what Murillo's capable of. We know what Sells is capable of. We know what everyone's capable of. Just everyone's just got to, like I say, there needs to be a reset. There's someone come in and just go, do you know what? Forget everything, play basic football, and let's win matches.
Yeah,
Basic.
Because I've had people in work with me, and people come up to me and saying, "Oh, Forrest, how the hell are you third? And fourth? You're not playing attractive football. You're not easy on the eye, and you're playing this style of football." I'm like, "We're winning football matches. I don't care about stats. Doesn't matter if we haven't got the ball for 80% of the game, and we're effective. We got 2 fast wingers. We got a guy who's scoring goals. We got Gibbs White at the top of his game. We got a good defense. Tapped into that strength." And I would take that over trying to play this expansive, trying to play teams off the park, and just and like Dylan just said, back to basics, back to our strength. And if that means we have to just go back to winning ugly, I don't care. Just take it, man. Just please, just
winning ugly starts with playing ugly. So
yeah, and that's what we need to get back to.
We need to start playing ugly. I like Goober St. James's point, the most recent comment, Dor, saying players won't help a manager who will probably axe them next window because they're slow. And I think because of the Ange system was so different to what they were expecting, I just don't think they could get them to buy in. So we need someone who can galvanise the players and bring them all together and make sure that they can find a role for everyone. It's a difficult choice. I don't envy you, Mr. Marinakis, but what I do know is we always win.
We always win.
But I think he could. He should. He's got people out there looking, and they're watching this. Someone's watching this. Someone's watching different podcasts, and they're getting a feel. Do you know what I mean? I think at the end of the day is, I would say probably 80% of the fan base did not want Ange. No one bought into that appointment straight away. So once it started going bad, it went sour. So now we've got rid of him. Do you know what I mean? What we're going to do? We can't just go, oh yeah, let's get this big flamboyant manager and we're going to play this way. We're not. And it's the current state we're in at the minute where Dyche, for me, will come in and do it, get you back to basics and just reset you all and carry on. Do you know what I mean? Maybe he lasts to the end of the season and we try and get silver. Maybe not. Do you know what I mean? We don't know.
100%. Before we do go, is there any other topics that we're going to talk about before we do end the show? Anyone? What we do?
Just one thing. Porto won 4-0 away, I think, today. So that's a good.
Thanks, Steve.
Yeah, just to put that in there.
That's a great.
So they're coming with a bit of form on Thursday. Yeah. It is Thursday, isn't it?
Let's chat about what happens for the Porto match and who's temporarily in charge and how does that all work? Are they just turning up to training?
The manager will be in place by
surely by
Monday. Yeah, I think it'll be tomorrow.
This time they might be in place this quickly, Ben, because normally, Marinakis likes to replace them quickly, but he's had to pull the trigger twice in 39 days. I'm not sure that he's.
Ask a question.
You reckon he knows?
Yeah, of course. Why didn't he do it in the 2 weeks we've just had?
Yeah,
because they're out talking to people.
You've got to look at it right.
He wants to come.
He's giving that
because they weren't ready, Dylan. That's why.
No. You've got to look at it from his point of view. If we sacked him on the before the international duty, it's like all the press are going to be like, "Oh, got rid of him." At least he's gave him a chance to see, "Oh, has he fixed it?" For this, because he's had.
I think that press conference told you yesterday he hasn't fixed it.
No, I know he hasn't. But now we know he hasn't. But I'm trying to say he's had 2 weeks on the training ground where the players didn't go on international duty. I'm thinking, okay, I've got time now with these players, and I can say, okay, I'll give you time. But now the press conference and the match from today just says it all.
Well, three of them Three of them high-profile, them players that cost us £130 million combined. Three of them spent 2 weeks with him, and he didn't even put them in the squad.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah, that's what confused me. That what baffled me as well. But listen, it's been a great show, man. It's been actually a great show, people. But
well, can we close it out, Dore? Just ask all of us, who do you want us? Who would you pick?
okay, I'll say Dyche.
One word. Who would you pick, Ben?
Dyche.
Dyche. Dylan picks Dyche.
Yeah.
I think Simon picks Dyche as well, don't you?
Simon Dyche.
Yeah,
Steve, what's Dyche in it?
I'll go who now? Dyche or Mancini?
No. You know what? I don't want Dyche. You know why? Because this idiot will put like a picture on his Twitter. So yeah, no. I want Dyche. So what you?
I'd welcome Dyche if that's who they picked, but I'd probably choose Mancini if we could get him. That's who I'd go for. We need someone. We need a high-profile appointment.
We need, do you think he can deal with Marinakis?
Yeah, I think he would. There's experience. He's dealt with some pretty tough stuff. He's an experienced campaigner.
Okay.
I don't like this rhetoric around dealing with Marinakis. There's no dealing with Marinakis. Marinakis is like a great operator. He's really good. So there's no dealing with him. There's like working with him.
Can I just say that with Dyche, look at the stuff that's going on around that time with the ownership at Everton, and look what he did for them. I think Dyche just gets on with it.
He galvanised them.
Yeah. I think he will make that's against the world, like the old Billy Davis mentality. It's us against the world mentality, because you know what Dyche is like in the media as well.
Just before we go as well, what I've been hearing for this evening that's baffled me, right? For the last 2 weeks, you've heard podcasts, you've heard Talk Sport, you've heard Sky, all talking about Ange. Oh, he's not going to survive. Oh, he shouldn't be this and he shouldn't be that. Marinakis has pulled the trigger, and now some media are turning around and going, "Oh, did they pull the trigger a bit too early? Did they not give him enough time? Should they have given him enough time?" And I'm like, hold on a minute. 1 minute you wanted him gone, now he's gone. Now you've got
that's just classic media, Dylan. That's just like me with Yates. Oh, I don't like Yates. Yates scores. Come on, Yates. Yeah, that's just the way it works.
But you get what I mean? It's like they contradict themselves too much.
No. Like this guy, he hates Yates, and then when Yates scores, he gets, "Woo, yes, Yates scores." This is
why I like Peter Crouch on TNT earlier. Is that Glenn Hoddle put his Spurs hat on? He was getting very defensive, obviously being Ange Spurs and all that, and he was saying, "Oh, this is very harsh. Oh, the next manager's got 8 games to turn it around," and blah blah blah. Peter Crouch said to him, "It's a results business. He just hasn't got the results." Peter Crouch said, "I'm not surprised he's gone." And this is the thing. Jamie Redknapp was, "Oh, this is ridiculous." And like Dylan just said, 1 minute they're saying, "Oh, his record is rubbish. He's worst appointment ever." Next thing, "Oh, it's really harsh. Get rid of him." He's had 0 wins. 0 wins.
But do you know what?
He has had 0 wins, which is why they might have just gotten rid of him with no plan, because he might have been that bad. No, he's on the board. That his management of the entire ecosystem of the training and everything that they were doing, and they just thought, you know what, we just got to get this guy out. That it's not off the board.
Can I squeeze in one final word, Ben?
Sorry, quick word. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, just before we drop off, because I'm obviously conscious of time. So there's a young girl, Georgia, who had her photo taken with Ange as he drove out of the ground today.
Yes, you know.
And we posted it on our Twitter account, and it's going a bit viral at the minute. And we're hoping to have the young girl, Georgia, and her mum on the podcast on Monday. So for a little chat about her 15 minutes of fame. So keep an eye out for that, guys.
Was that the plug, Simon, so people can follow your channel?
It was. Thanks, Ben. You know what I mean.
So if people can follow Tricky Talks, he's in the top. Just all you do is click on it, and you're going to listen to Simon. I hope it's just you, Simon, and not Mollo, because Mollo just talks too much. Like,
Mollo will be there. Yeah, Mollo, Kate, and Chelsea, they'll be there.
No, Kate and Chelsea, they're fantastic.
Good that Simon's one's audio only, Ben, because you don't have to look at Mollo.
Yeah. No, but listen to him. Just listening to him. Shout out to Ellie. I've seen Ellie today. She was fantastic on TNT. Shout out to Ellie. Just Molly just talks too much. But Molly, I do love you, though. We just do this or that. Well,
it's definitely my 58th favourite podcaster in all of the Forest circles, Mollo. 58. Just ahead of Des at 57th.
Leave Des alone. People, the 2 shows. I got 2 shows tomorrow. One with Des at 12:30, and one with
that'll be worth seeing. That'll be worth seeing. I'm looking forward to hearing Dez's opinion on this.
With Des, and then I got one at 9 o'clock with Dave and Pat Lally talking about all this as well. But it's been a great show, hasn't it, lads? It's been a fantastic show. Make sure everyone follows Simon, like I said, on Tricky Talks. Make sure Aussie Dave follows his podcast as well.
Yeah, we're on hiatus. Rugby league season's done in Australia, Ben. So just all for us.
If you want a free bus pass from Dylan, we got
no. Don't even go there.
He doesn't give me free one. Like overpays me sometimes. So
I'll charge you double.
It tells me double. And well, Steve, he's still not on Instagram. So I still keep telling him to go on Instagram. He still hasn't gone.
I'm not got Instagram.
Hey, Ben, can I just say? Can I just ask this? And Steve, if you can move your hand away from your beard. If Forest make the Champions League this season, Steve has to shave his beard.
Yes. Yes.
Well, that's me keeping my beard then, isn't it?
Yes,
If Forest make the Champions League this season, Steve has to shave his beard.
Can we do that, Steve?
What?
If Forest get Champions League, you're gonna shave your beard.
Forest get Champions League this season.
So it's yeah.
Yes or no?
If Forest make it to the Champions League next season, Steve, you have to shave your beard.
Oh, I forgot one thing. We could win Europa, couldn't we?
Oh,
I forgot about that.
Yes or no?
No, I'm not.
Come on.
all right, if they finish in the top 5 in the Premier League, then, Steve. If they finish top 5 Premier League, you got to shave your beard.
Top 5, yeah, top 5.
Top 5.
Top 5?
Yeah, he'll take
You get it with this team, doesn't he? Can I just say one thing, though? The new manager bounced fine. His first game, Bournemouth away. Good luck with that one.
We'll definitely. I don't know. We never beat
Yeah.
That's a different show, people. That's a different show. But like I said, I do appreciate everyone. Like I said, Aussie Day, Dylan, Simon as well on stage. It's been a great show. If you are rewatching this, please hit the like button, subscribe, and if you disagree with everything that Aussie Day said, just put it in the comment section because I've disagreed with everything that he has said. So, but yeah, people, it's been a great show. Like I said, I'll be on with Des at 12:30 tomorrow. Pat Lally and Dave at 9 o'clock. So again, we can talk about and again managers that should be in. But yeah, it's been a great show. Hit the like button, subscribe if you know. Peace and love. Up the bloody Forest.